Hello, I'm Chris Casey.
And I'm Kristin Chris. Welcome to Arundel County Week in Review. In this week's episode, we'll fill you in on the Earleigh Heights Carnival and take you to visit George Washington at the State House in Annapolis. But first, making headlines this week. A new court ruling has affirmed that the Chesapeake Bay needs to go on a diet. A federal appeals court said this week that the pollution diet set by the Federal Environmental Protection Agency, which sets goals for bay cleanup, will stand. The American Farm Bureau Federation and the National Association of Home Builders filed a challenge to the program. There is a chance that the case could move on to the U.S. Supreme Court. We asked Eric Michelson, the county's watershed restoration administrator, what the ruling means to us.
So if the court had ruled the other way and had overturned the TMDL, what that could have done is potentially put some questions around Anne Arundel County's clean water efforts. We still have what's called a MS4 stormwater permit that's issued by EPA and MDE, which is the primary driver at this point for the stormwater fee and the county's clean water efforts. But it goes hand in hand with these larger bay pollution diet requirements, which work together essentially to improve water quality. Work. We've got a number of big projects we've gotten in the ground already this year, and we've got several more lined up for the summer. With these big storms that we've had so far this summer, we've had to go back and do some patchwork. We've also certainly sites that are problems have come to light through citizen complaints and that sort of thing, and we've been looking into those, working with our highways folks to deal with drainage issues as well as looking to improve water quality if there's opportunities on private properties as well.
The EPA has set a deadline of 2025 for states to reduce pollution from nitrogen, sediment, and other sources. For more information on what Anne Arundel County is doing to clean up the waterways, just type AAWPRP into your search bar on Facebook and like that page.
So did the court say I need a diet too, or was it just the bay?
I think it's just the bay, Chris.
Okay.
I think you're okay. Although, I did hear you were at Moe's today.
I was, and just like I need a diet, it's pretty clear the bay needs a diet. We know because we spend so much time on the water here in Arundel County.
We do.
And you know what else is going on a diet? Your water and sewer bills. This week, the County Council voted 6-1 to lower the charge for public water service from $2.76 to $2.70 for every 1,000 gallons used. The sewer rate decreases from $4.85 to $4.74. The rate reduction comes thanks to a surplus in the county's enterprise fund, and administration officials warn that the decrease, which takes effect on September 1st, could be temporary if the water and sewer funds dip too low. But it's good. For the meantime, we've got lower water and sewer fees, so any help's good.
Well, I see the opportunity for a public service announcement. Of course, I have to take it, Chris. But maybe if we conserve our water usage,
yes.
Maybe if our flushing goes down, then we could lower those rates even more.
Absolutely.
Chris, I'm so excited about this next story. Guess who just turned 30 years old? No.
Was it you?
Hello, McFly. Think McFly. Maryland Live will be giving away the iconic DeLorean from the Back to the Future series at the end of this month. The car will be given away on July 31st at 10:04 p.m., the exact time the lightning bolt strikes the clock tower to send Marty McFly back to 1985. Chris, are you a Back to the Future fan?
Yeah.
How cool is that car?
It's awesome, and I want it.
Yeah?
So we got to make it happen. I don't know how, but we got to make it happen.
Well, that car or Knight Rider? Which one do you think?
Definitely the DeLorean.
DeLorean?
Are you kidding me? It
all
can
the
go
way?
back in time. Can the Knight
With
Rider go back in
Christopher
time?
Lloyd?
Can the Knight Rider go back
We
in
can
time?
talk.
Well, you know, it's okay.
Although I guess all cars kind of talk now with the GPS.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I changed mine to an Australian accent.
I just changed mine to Arnold Schwarzenegger. Because there's this promo with Terminator coming back out again, and you can change on Waze, the Waze app. You can change it to sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger. So now it says, the debris in the road, get down.
Well, while Kristin continues to tell me about her Arnold Schwarzenegger voice, I think she's probably going to show me, give me a little demo here. We're going to take a quick break. When we return, we'll talk with Andy Price about the Earleigh Heights Carnival. Take a look at our community calendar for events around town, but don't go anywhere. We'll be back.
We'll be back.
We'll be back. Right back.
Back for you.
I will not be news today. I will not make another push to be the first man in space with frosted tips and a puka shell necklace. And I will not go viral when my terror is caught on camera when I finally realized that in the vacuum of space, no one can hear you sing. I'm Lance Bass, and I will not be trending today because there is a much bigger story that needs to be heard.
Severe weather can destroy a home in seconds. There's no time to think, only time to act. Have a kit so you're ready for any emergency. Develop a plan for what you and your family will do before disaster strikes, and stay informed during severe weather any way you can. It can be the difference between losing your possessions and losing your life. Just ask the owners of this house. Visit ready.gov for ways to prepare your family for emergencies.
Welcome back. Joining us on the program this week, we're delighted to have in the studio Andy Price. Andy, welcome.
Thanks for coming.
And Andy, you are the Carnival Chairman for the Earleigh Heights Volunteer Fire Company.
Yes, I am.
And you're here this week to talk about the Carnival.
Annual Carnival, yes.
Annual Carnival, which is taking place when?
It's from the 9th to the 18th of this month. We do not run on Sunday, so it's Thursday, Friday, and then from Monday through Saturday. So, and actually, I messed up. It's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, no Sunday, and then Monday through Saturday.
Wow.
From 6 to 11 p.m.
And this is at Earleigh Heights.
at Earleigh Heights.
And this is no new carnival. This has been something that's been running for quite a while. When was the first carnival?
In 1945, it's August 20th, so this is the 70th year.
70.
70 years with
I'm
this
bad at
carnival.
math, but I can do that.
Good job, Chris.
I
Good
know.
job.
So is it free to get into the carnival?
Now, the carnival, we have wristbands. If you want to ride all night, it's $25. We offer there's a $2 coupon, which is located on our website, or it's at local establishments in the Cerner Park area. We put flyers out. So you can take that coupon. It's one per person. It's $2 off, so it makes it $23. There's also a coupon for $5 off a book of 50 tickets. And the single tickets, some families, they'd rather go that way because they, limit it and can do a little more with that.
But if you just want to go to the carnival and walk around and play some of the paddle wheels, that sort of thing, is it?
The Midway's totally free. You
Okay.
can come in. We have food and games. It doesn't cost anything.
Okay.
Well, of course, you do have to charge for the rides. And with the money that you're making from this carnival, proceeds are actually going to go towards the fire company. And let's talk a bit about that, because you have a lot of expenses. We were mentioning off camera about replacing some fleet. What are the needs right now of the fire company, and what will these proceeds help?
The money that we make goes in towards our fund, which goes to support equipment that we need for the firefighting as well as new apparatus. So the idea is we want a fund to be able to pay for our new equipment that we need to support the community of Earleigh Heights, Smyrna Park, and Pasadena as well.
You cover Smyrna Heights, Pasadena, Earleigh Heights. That's a lot
Large
of
area.
residents. You definitely want to get out there and support these guys so that they can have
Most-
top-notch stuff.
Yeah, and most people don't realize that we have a combined fire service in this county where it's volunteer and professional, and you all respond and answer to calls just like the paid firefighters do, and you get less money. So you need the support from the community. You need the community to come out and really kind of throw in, right?
That's correct. We do have some paid firefighters that are assigned to our station, as well as most of the man is by our volunteers that come in there and man the equipment. So that's a good thing. And we're always looking for more people to join, and training's free. If you have people that want to join and become firefighters, it's more than welcome.
And you work with a local company as far as getting the rides in and some of the bigger attractions. It's a company in Annapolis, correct?
Yes, Jolly Shows are located in Annapolis, Maryland. They've been around. We've had them for years. They have excellent equipment, and it's safe, and it's good for the family and fun.
And it's local.
And it's local.
It's local. Any special things that you're doing this year with the carnival? Any special nights?
This year on Tuesday night we're going to start early from 5 to 6. It's closed to the public, but we have a special feature there for the Canara Foundation. It's for a sensory-friendly night for children with special needs, autism. So if you're interested in coming to that night, actually you can go to the Canara.org website. They're sensory-friendly. It's events listed there. Fill out the registration for that. You can come, and the children can have a chance to ride the rides from 5 to 6, and it's no cost to them.
No cost.
No cost.
That's fantastic. So if folks out there want to find out more about the carnival or perhaps more about volunteering with the fire company, where should they go to get more information?
To become a member or join, there's plenty of us there at the firehouse. We have an information booth. You can stop by, fill out an application, and join us.
Great. And if you want more info on the carnival?
You can come to our website. There's actually information at the ehbfc.org website.
And we'll throw that up on the screen for all the people at home.
Great. Well, Andy, thank you so much for joining us this week. We hope you have a very successful carnival. We hope you get out to the Earleigh Heights Carnival July 18th through
July 8th
through the
It's 9th through the 18th.
9th through the 18th. I'm messing up the dates.
Kristin?
July 9th through the 18th. And again, no
closed on
Sundays. Closed on Sundays. And on Tuesdays, you'll be open an hour before, but it's
From 5
closed
to
off.
6, correct.
5 to 6 kids with disabilities or that have needs
Special
for
sensory.
special
No
sensory.
lights, no music played, so wanna
Perfect.
be easy for them.
Very good.
Kristin, I got a question for you.
For me.
What's your favorite carnival game?
Oh, wow. Oh, gosh. Well, Andy, you're probably the expert on this. What's your favorite carnival game?
What's my favorite carnival game? I don't play them, but my kids, they like throwing the darts.
You like throwing the darts?
Throwing
What's
the
yours?
darts.
I like
gotta
that.
think.
I like that bottle ring game.
Bottle ring?
And I've only won it once in my life. I won a Razor scooter when I was like 12, and I was so pumped.
Okay. I'm
Never won it again.
pretty good at the squirt guns, and I like the ducks. Just a
right.
little nostalgic for that.
Well, come see us out there, and you can take any of us on at these carnival games. And
Thank you, Andy, so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Week in Review right after this.
A boy born in Joplin, Missouri was fascinated by anything with wheels and a motor. The odds of him going on to fascinate millions with his talent? 1 in 260,000. The odds of this born racer having 157 career top 10 finishes in NASCAR? 1 in 125 billion. The odds of him winning both the Daytona 500 and the Brickyard 400 in the same year? 1 in 195 million. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism? 1 in 68. I'm NASCAR driver Jamie McMurray, and my niece has autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
We're back. We all know that Annapolis is rich in history, but one gem has been closed to the public for a very long time. Our own Michelle Corkadel is at the State House with the Maryland Archivist and George Washington himself. Michelle?
Thanks, Chris and Kristin. I have the pleasure today of being here at the Maryland State House at the Old Senate Chambers with Elaine Bachmann and our very first president, George Washington. Thank you so much for joining us, Elaine. So we're sitting here with a bronze statue of George Washington. Can you tell me a little bit of what brought George here to the chamber today?
Certainly. This is a newly commissioned bronze sculpture of Washington at the moment he resigned his commission as Commander-in-Chief of the Continental Army here in the Maryland State House in 1783. And he was presenting his resignation to Congress because the war was over, successfully ended. He had done his job, and he fully intended to retire back to his farm at Mount Vernon. So he came before Congress, read the original draft of his speech that he wrote while he was here in town, and presented it to Congress, left here, and returned home to Mount Vernon in time for Christmas dinner.
That's amazing. And so this bronze statue actually is capturing not just George Washington, but the embodiment of his emotions at the time of his speech. Can you share with the group a little bit about that?
Yes, there are just a couple of written accounts of Washington when he was resigning, and all of them convey the great sense of emotion that he was obviously feeling in resigning his commission. And it was at the moment when he spoke about his troops and his officers and really appealing to Congress to care for them and pay them after the war that he became so emotional he had to grip the paper with both hands. So that's the image we've depicted here, and it's inside this actual room that has now been restored as best as we understand it to the appearance as it looked on the day when he resigned in December of 1783.
So to do the renovations, we had to deploy a lot of experts of this particular era. Why don't you share with the folks what all went into the details of the molding and the replication of this actual room, restoration of the fireplace, etc.
Certainly. The restoration was a joint project between the Department of General Services and the Maryland Historical Trust and the Maryland State Archives. So it was really those three agencies and all the expertise in both the archival record, the comparison to other houses at the time period, and really understanding the architectural components that went into this room as it was originally built that brought the room together. And so working with modern contractors, obviously, but using 18th century techniques, all of the plaster was placed onto the walls. The walls were furred out underneath that. All of the replication of the entablature was done based on the very few photographs we have, and then using architectural elements from other houses here in Annapolis to replicate that, knowing that some of the craftsmen worked in both the State House and some of the houses in town. The fireplace surround was recreated, and this gallery behind us was completely recreated, more historically accurate than ever before, based on new information that has come to light since it was restored in 1906.
I noticed there's another little bronze statue sitting up there. Why don't you share that story?
There is. That's Molly Rideout, and she was a woman here in town in Annapolis from a very socially prominent family who attended Washington's resignation and afterwards wrote a letter to her mother in England describing being at this very important ceremony and describing how emotional Washington was. And so we chose to depict her in the gallery, which is where all women had to be because they weren't allowed on the floor of the Senate. But she described being in this very crowded chamber and watching Washington resign. So we wanted to give visitors to this chamber a sense of what it was like to be a spectator at that event, as well as depicting the great man himself.
Well, this room definitely takes you back to that moment in time, concluding, of course, with the niche and dais of the State Senate President, Mr. Mifflin, was it not, correct?
Yes, Thomas Mifflin was presiding over the Senate, and the niche is so critical to the reinterpretation of this room because it's the only element of the original room that has survived, with the exception of a couple of columns that were saved. So the niche was covered over in the 19th century, and it's the plaster behind that that really provided, if you will, the Rosetta Stone for this whole room because it had the original paint color, it had the original composition of the plaster, and so that became the document for restoring many elements in the room.
Well, I'm excited to bring my kids and family here to see this, as well I'm sure many folks that are visiting Annapolis during our tourist season of the summer is. Thank you so much for joining us. We greatly appreciate it, and you guys did a fabulous job.
Thank you.
Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Michelle. She gets all the great assignments.
She does.
How lifelike does George Washington look there, Chris?
He looks really good. He looks really good.
Yeah.
And another mute point, the George Washington figure statue in the State House is the exact same height as me.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Does this mean you're a natural born leader or some weird stuff like that?
I didn't make any inferences. I just threw the facts out there.
Just the exact same
I'll let
height
the
as
viewers
you.
at home put together their own.
Okay. Well, they should make a James Cameron film about Washington. How about anybody? Somebody think about that. We've tried to recreate everything else. How about a George Washington movie, right? Think of all the battle scenes, the drama, resigning the commission. Washington was also a master spy, which we just had a master spy movie come out, so he would fit right in line. He invented invisible ink, Chris.
Yes.
Believe it or not.
And he also had a lot of his soldiers engaged in spy missions. Like they would dress like British soldiers or, all kinds of stuff. It was cool.
He also
Interesting character.
Invented the Post-it. True statement.
And Al Gore invented the internet.
That's right.
That is right.
Very good.
So, Kristin, I read an article today that they found out.
So proud of you for reading.
I can read. She taught me. Hooked on phonics, level 6. But women, we all know that women live longer than men, typically.
Of course.
But we now know some more of the reasons. It was in the Los Angeles Times, and it said that men eat more red meat, they have less healthy diets,
I believe
they're
that.
less likely to go to the doctors, less likely to use antibiotics, that kind of stuff. So
You
it's
guys
preventable.
are stubborn about the doctors.
I really am. I've been kind of sick for like a week and a half. I haven't gone.
I know a certain guy I love very much, Dad. I don't even know the last time he went to the dentist or doctor. He's just a Superman.
I've met Kristin's dad once, and he does not seem like a doctor guy either. He really doesn't.
But he is a Superman.
He is a Superman.
Well, I find that interesting, but I have to agree, not just the diet, but we go through childbirth. We're rock stars.
She's a rock star.
I'm a rock star. We run ourselves to the point of exhaustion and still give 110%. So, yeah, for the ladies, living longer. That's all right.
Hey, you know. So, what else is new going on today?
Well, I'm really excited that we talked about Andy Price. Talked to Andy Price about the Carnival because you asked me about what my favorite Carnival game is. Let's talk more about diets, which we've mentioned a couple times on the show. What's your favorite Carnival food?
Okay. Oh, this is not my favorite food, but I saw a video today.
Okay.
Fried watermelon, deep fried watermelon.
Fried watermelon?
Yes. I didn't think it would even work.
Have we no decency left?
We don't. But
Fried watermelon?
I love getting the pizza.
It's supposed to be
something
refreshing.
about Carnival pizza. I don't know what it is, especially at Earleigh Heights in Glen Burnie Carnival. They must have the same pizza guys.
Yeah.
It's delicious. Love it.
I always had braces as a kid, so I never really got to dig into the candy apple.
Yeah.
Which I will not eat every single time I go and there's one available because they're really bad for your teeth. But those are really good once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like those. My sister loves funnel cakes. And I know this sounds weird, but there's always someone that's doing Chinese street festival fare. So like the egg rolls or the noodles, and those are really good, especially at the county fair.
Do you think there's a Week in Review episode where we haven't talked about food yet?
No, but we should definitely go live to the fairgrounds once again like we did years ago and try out food.
I like it. We should.
We should. But yeah, speaking of, you went to Moe's.
Yes.
We are always on the constant Mexican food debate.
And if you don't remember, if you didn't watch that episode, it was the debate over whether or not Chipotle could be in downtown Annapolis.
Right.
And they got approved so that they're going to be in the Market House.
Right, and they're the most well-known, so do they in fact reign supreme?
Well, I've always gone to Chipotle, and the first time I went to Moe's was today. And I thought they were good. I think I'm still a Chipotle person.
Still a Chipotle person.
But they both have their benefits.
Okay, well then at
Very
least we're out
diplomatic,
there.
I know, but
we're getting you this hard-hitting facts. We're doing all this research for you.
Watch out. Watch out, I-Team.
It's burrito world.
Well, that wraps up this week's edition of Week in Review. You can watch this episode and archived episodes online anytime on Facebook, YouTube, or Google Plus by searching Arundel TV. Please tune in again next week for more highlights and news from around the county. We'll see you next time.
We'll be back.
We will be back.
We'll be back.
We'll be back. The governor.
Get down.
Which planet are we living on? It's right here.
What do you think it would be like to teach?
They're all a part of our...
Chances are, you have no idea.
We're gonna turn on the lights and everybody look up.
Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places, and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable. That's what it's like to teach.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.